been to some fireplaces. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. I'll sit down, I'll sit down, I'll sit down, sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 in sympathy.
Evening, everyone. Evening. Kenny will be here, but we have got Lee Gunner. What can we say? Lee, you're working your nuts off right now, man. I was watching you earlier on North Sides. You're doing a watch along in a little bit. Mate, last night, we got away with it, Lee. We did get away with it. But, Lee, our luck's going to run out at some point, and I have a horrible feeling it could be away at Villa this weekend. Unai Emery, who knew? Who knew? He was going to be a decent manager. You know, I was not an Unai Emery out. I have to put it. I'm going to say that right now here. I actually saw, and I thought this is a decent fella. No, he was binned, mate. It wasn't great last night, Lee, was it?
No, it weren't. Firstly, thanks for having me on, mate. Big up to everyone in the chat, and looking forward to a good show. Smash the like button up, sub to Jez. All that good stuff. And I've seen people saying they played really well, Luton. I don't think they played really well. I just think that for 20 minutes they pressed the hell out of us and we struggled. They're off like to break them down from that because there was no cohesion. Yeah, like we were so calm, cool, collected for 20 minutes, and they had 6 players in our half in that first 20 minutes. And I was screaming on that watch along, like just long ball over the top, you bypass their press. Yeah, because if they've got 6 players in our half, that means 3 or 4 or 5 of our players ain't being marked somewhere. Yeah, but we didn't do it quick enough. And I think they ruffled us up a little bit. I mean, the ref let some of the free kicks go that should have been free kicks. Gabby Jesus got a forearm in the face on the touchline. I thought that was a foul. But on the flip side of that, Kivior probably should have been straight red. Yeah, he didn't even get a booking for that. He got very lucky with that. And then later in the game, the foul on Gabriel Magalhaes, nailed on penalty. But we know the refs are poor for everyone, so I ain't going to go down the route of blaming refs. I'm just highlighting the fact that we got away without a red and they got away without giving us a penalty. Yeah, because it was definitely a penalty. I don't think the other one was a penalty. I think Jesus went down a bit too easy on that one. Yeah, but the Gabriel one, the Magalhaes one, definitely a penalty. But I said this to Northside a minute ago. I'm quite prepared to have a little gentleman's bet, a little friendly bet with someone or anyone, maybe somebody in the chat, whatever. Yeah, I guarantee Luton don't score more than 3 goals in a game more than once more this season.
Yeah, absolutely, totally agree.
Yeah, and the fact that our goalkeeper, that I rate him, I think he's good. I thought he was shocking last night. Yeah, everything that we've said about Aaron Ramsdale, not commanding his penalty box, yeah, not getting down quick enough, getting beaten at the near stick and stuff like that. It was almost like he was in goal last night because David Raya was awful. Yeah, he basically gifted them 2 goals. And that's why I don't think Luton played that well. Yeah, they tried hard. They run around a lot. Yeah, they got physical with us. Ross Barkley played great, I thought he was the best player on the pitch. Yeah, and the way he was running through our midfield was just a joke. I thought our captain was shocking, but he'll get himself a free pass because he set up the winning goal. I don't think Declan Rice was that amazing. I thought he played all right, but he weren't amazing. Hearing talk of 29 being, he was the best performance. He was the best player. No, he was just better than he has been. Yeah, nice finish for his goal. Yeah, but he weren't head and shoulders like, wow, you've played really well today. I don't think any of them did. I'd say our best player was probably Jesus, and even he weren't great. No. Yeah, great finish. Yeah, great cross from Ben White. I thought he was crap last night. Yeah, and I'm not one of these people that's going to go, he got an assist so he gets a free pass. Nah, mate. Yeah, how are you getting cooked by Ross Barkley? Yeah, just one drop of the shoulder and he done you. But then the keeper's got to save it. And if you go back before that, 29's trying to do some little fairy tale back heel tackle because he got cooked. And before that, our captain's face planted the floor, didn't even bother trying to get up. He was rolling around feigning injury. And before that, it was Kivior that gave the ball away. That goal was just a joke, that third goal. Yeah, the first goal that we conceded, Declan Rice and Gabby Magalhaes are jumping into each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, 29's taking the knee. I thought that started before kickoff, not during the game. Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to take the Skittles out of his socks, or the gummy bears that he chews on that mid-game. But he was on the floor, and Gabriel Jesus didn't even bother jumping.
No.
It was just ridiculous. Calamity. All 3 goals were just disgusting. Yeah, and yeah, fair enough. The crowd, it was up for it. Everyone keeps saying small pitch. I checked the diameter of the pitch, like the measurements of the pitch. The pitch is 5 meters by 3 meters smaller. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason it looks like a small pitch is because the fans are right on top of it. It's like Palace away. The fans are right on top of it. Yeah,
whereas like Highbury, man, years ago.
Exactly, same as Highbury. Whereas our ground, you've got that 10, 15 foot drop back before you get to the first row behind each goal. Yeah, and then you've got a maybe 5, 10 foot gap either side in the touchlines. Yeah, so it looks like it's a bigger pitch because you can see where the white line is. You can see grass this side, whereas with Luton, you can't. The fans are there.
Yeah.
So you literally go over the line, bang, you're in the ad holding. Yeah, so I don't buy into this small pitch rubbish. We got out of jail. Fair enough. We kept going. Yeah, resilience. Yeah, character. All the good words you want to use for it. Fantastic. And what I'll finish from Declan Rice as well. Great cross from Odegaard. But again, like I said, it weren't good. Yeah, and yeah, we keep going till the end. Yeah, we do have the physicality to keep going and keep going. But however, on the flip side of that, Luton were trying to shore it up for a draw. Yeah, and that was to their downfall, mate. Because if they carried on trying to press us, it was only when they dropped back 15 yards and tried to do the park the bus one. That was when Odegaard started getting the ball. That was when Zinchenko started getting the ball. Before that, we were just getting passed through quite comfortably in midfield. Andros Townsend, Ross Barkley. I mean, come on. Yeah, and Adebayo with the header. What is our keeper doing for that goal, mate? That was a shocker, that second one. Third one was even worse. All 3 were a joke. But we're still top. Yeah, we got out of jail. I don't think we can keep getting away with it. I've seen people lauding this up. It's the sign of champions. Well, go back to last season.
Yeah.
We scored a last-minute winner, Eddie Nketiah, against Man United 3-2. We scored a Reece Nelson screamer against Bournemouth 3-2. Yeah, we scored an equaliser in the 96th minute against Southampton 3-3. Still didn't win the league, did we?
No.
So we're 1 point worse off than this stage last season. We've conceded the same amount of goals and we've scored a few less, I think. 4 less. Man City have scored 10 goals less, albeit they have a game in hand, and they're 8 points worse off. So if they win tonight, it'll be 5. So it's still there or thereabouts. The only difference now is Liverpool are in the mix. And this is why I'm looking at it thinking, I don't think Liverpool are going to go away. Yeah, and I don't see City going away. But if City fall off, Liverpool won't. I don't see both of them falling. And one's going to stay there. Yeah, if not both. And it's going to be a lot harder to win it this year. So I'm hoping, Jez, albeit our manager is banned for the next game. Yeah, and I've seen that again. The conspiracy theorists are out. He celebrated. No, he went on the pitch. There's photos of him on the pitch.
Can't do that.
And everyone's saying, but De Zerbi did it. De Zerbi did it at full time and run the whole length of the pitch against Forest. It was full time. Yeah, he's been booked, rightly so. Is it going to be a massive issue not having him on the touchline at Villa? Probably not, if I'm being honest. Yeah, because if he's confident in his ability as a manager and setting up a team for the game, he'll be allowed to sit in the stands. I'm sure he'll have an earpiece in. And I'm sure Albert will have his AirPods in. Don't really make any difference. Let's be real. How many times do we see managers sitting in the crowd anyway? Amount of managers that used to sit in the crowd in the first half and then come down for the second half used to be a thing back in the day, didn't it? So, yeah, I'm not buying into this conspiracy thing. At the end of the day, we know the refs are trash. They're trash for everyone. Yeah, the refs were trash for Man City at the weekend. The ref was trash against Man City when Wolves should have had He Chan sent off and then he scores the winner in the last minute. The ref was trash in the Liverpool game and gave Tottenham the points instead of, doing what they did. And Liverpool should have got something maybe there with nine men. So I don't buy into this refs and this and refs of that. Man City, they can cry all they like about the weekend. Yeah, they missed a hatful of chances. That is on them, not the referee. Yeah, us last night, we got out of jail. Otherwise, our fans would be crying about a penalty decision. but they ain't mentioned one. I've not seen one of these people mention that Kivior should have had a straight red card. So listen, we'll take the points. Yeah, it puts us in pole position still. We're clear. But Jez, Kenny, and the chat, we've seen this last season, so I am not getting carried away. And like I just said before, Kenny joined, Liverpool are now in the mix as well. And we got to now go against both of them because I don't see both falling away. One maybe, but not both. So we have to go and do our business in January. Tommy's out for 6 weeks, apparently. That'll end up being 4 months. Timber's going to come back. I said he's going to come back in the coldest months of the season, not up to full match fitness. That could be another injury coming back there. Yeah, we've seen when Jesus came back, he ain't really been the Jesus as when we first signed him. But on the flip side, Kevin De Bruyne's the same. He's going to be coming back not fully match fit in the coldest months. So yeah, there's loads of twists and turns. Yeah, cool. We got the result. Like I said, I'm happy to take a little friendly bet with anyone. Luton don't score 3 goals in a game more than once more in 25 games remaining.
Totally agree, man. I totally agree. I mean, I'm going to come to Kenny, but I saw a fellow YouTuber today put out a short saying that Declan Rice is one of the top 5 midfielders in the world. Fair play. Okay, that's your opinion. I'm not buying into that myself, but there you go. Kenny, I'm just going to bring this up because we talked long and long about last night. We've got Villa away at the weekend, right? We know it's not an easy place to go. That is for sure. I think I said to Lee just before you joined us, man. There comes a point in time when you ride on luck and eventually it runs out. Yeah, that lucky horse you're riding will fall over and break a leg. I've got an awful feeling that could be away at Villa because Unai Emery he's a cagey manager, right? As I said to Lee, I didn't want him to be binned. I actually saw something in that fella, and he went on to prove me right when he was binned, right? And he went on to win the Europa League again, kicks us out of Europa League, fair play. But mate, I mean, I think it's going to be a difficult one. I really do.
Well, the thing is, Jez, is that everyone says where was his turning point? What we're really shocked about what happened. About us dropping points, but it's already happened last season. Bournemouth away, Villa away. We won those games. We needed last-minute goals to win those games where Bournemouth were in the game. They scored 2 breakaway goals and could have got a third. Lucky to get a third. Villa smashed us to pieces in that first half, tailed off a bit, and then we needed 2 injury time goals to win 4-2. That is conceding. Those are 4 goals we conceded in virtually 2 games. We've now got Luton, who on paper is probably one of the worst teams in the Premiership, not in terms of like endeavour and playing for the badge, but in terms of general quality. You won't have to look at the guys who came on, like Morris. He's not a quality Premiership centre forward. So, but they still got 3 goals. Now, a lot of people are throwing it around that, we nearly lost because of Raya. Come on. I always say that when you concede goals, it's always phases of play. And come on, Declan Rice was poor in that phase of play for the second goal. And Odegaard was poor in that for the third goal. We're not allowed to say it. I mean, but in terms of like ruck running out, Villa defend better than Luton. They score more goals than Luton. They've got better quality. That probably will make us more, less wasteful and more tactically in tune because it's Villa. But the thing is, with the amount of chances they create, they're not going to not score. Doesn't matter where Saliba is the next, Franz Beckenbauer, whoever, Gabriel's the next vintage. It doesn't matter. If the midfield are not doing their job and they're getting bodied, our defence can't withstand the bombardment which is going to come this Saturday. So, it's highly likely that Brighton, Liverpool, and obviously Villa starting off could be our kryptonite because simple reasons you can't play like that. and keep on winging it. You can't keep on saying, "Oh yeah, last minute goal," and everyone's cheering and going mad and saying Declan Rice is the best thing since sliced bread. Why is it? Why is no one allowed to analyse Declan Rice's performances? I've got some pork chop called Ben Diagnostic, and I know you're watching, son. And I know you watch these things. Every minute you're on my case. What I'm not gonna change my opinion on football just to suit you. I don't know you, Ben. I've been watching this game for 45 years. I am allowed to say that I want more from Declan Rice. People giving him 8, 9 out of 10s when Havertz was a better player yesterday and Saka was better. I mean, some of our fans, even on Twitter, we know what you're doing. It's all about getting likes, clicks, and probably a next slot on Sky. Just be honest and say, look, Declan Rice has had a good season, but there's more to come for him. There's levels that Declan can go to. Right now, it's quite pretty easy because he's out doing more recoveries. But we haven't seen Declan in a sort of forward position. Yeah, he scored 3 goals, which is more than Martinelli and and Jesus. But I still think there's levels Declan can go to. It's kind of the levels that Thomas Partey went to last season and the season before. That's Declan Rice's pathway to being a top-class midfielder. Someone who's not just good in the Premiership or good at West Ham. Someone who's good internationally and good club internationally in terms of Europe. That's what we paid for. I'm loving what he's doing, but we didn't pay for just recoveries and the odd winner in a match. We'll pay for a bit more than that, and it's going to come. But I'm not going to say he's there where everyone says he is because everyone wants me to say it. I've been watching football too long, and I think I know what's successful. I'm not a manager. I'm not a coach, but I have standards, and Declan is up there with the standards. We haven't reached them yet.
Yeah, I totally agree. As I said just before that, mate, there's a fellow YouTuber saying that he's one of the top 5 in the world. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that because, I'm sorry. Matty, mate, great to see you. Great to have you on.
Hey, brother.
Thanks for joining us, man. I know you're rushing your nuts out to get here. We've got Villa away. Tricky place to go. It's one of my favourite, actually. For me, it's one of my favourite away grounds. It's just the atmosphere is great. I love it. Aston Villa's not a lovely area of Birmingham, that's for sure. It's a pretty dodgy place to go, but it's a great atmosphere. But, mate, we can't keep riding the luck. We got away with it last night, and it's 3 points. And I know we rattled people last night. I watched Lee's player ratings, Lee's fan cam, Kenny's, yours, mine. The playback, the comments. We upset people because we're not going with the flow. I'm too old to be on YouTube. Give it up, old man. Give it up. You knew nothing. I know nothing about football. Hey, who knows? I don't care. Mate, Villa away, Matty. Let me know what you think, man.
Well, I mean, there's several factors that's going to go into this game here. You got Unai Emery. He has bulletin board material. They have bulletin board material from last year. They have bulletin board material because of where they're sitting at the table. This is a game we have to take serious. That display we watched yesterday, I slept on that last night. I actually went to bed. I was thinking about that game as I laid down last night. And I just can't see us continually to do that all year. I don't know if I could take it. I mean, it was fun to call the game yesterday, but seriously, as an Arsenal fan, I can't take much more of that. Whereas we should have blew that team away. I mean, Lee, we sat right there yesterday in that first half and watch the first couple of minutes of that game and watch us basically do what we want to do. We watched it Saturday. That's the best part about doing watch-alongs this year is that we're actually sitting there watching it and we're actually going through these games. It's not like we're just watching it and then we get together and then we talk about it. No, we're actually sitting there in real time analyzing these games. And each week, we're lopsided when we play. Has anybody noticed that we'll either start the game one way and then we'll fade away, or we'll fade away and then last second we're trying to scramble to get a goal. It's been like that all year. There's not been anything outside of that that 6-0 against Lawrence, where we're seeing like it was weeks away now, is the way that we consistently dismantle the team and do what we need to do and move on. It's always we start late and then we scrambling at the end. We're at the panic stations and we're looking around, we're hoping. It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with this team. You just never know what you're going to get when you watch us play. So yesterday, by all intents and purposes, I've heard all day today as I've been driving and listening as I'm riding around is they gave Liverpool trouble. Well, when Liverpool always falls to somebody stupid every year. Every year. Every year. But then I'll tell you, man, they're pushing everybody to the limit. Most relegation teams the teams that's coming up are already fighting to stay up. So they're going to be throwing the box at you anyway. This is why I hate when we have to play teams like that, because we tend to always have to get drugged down to play where they are, and then we don't impose our will. So we're playing to the will of Luton. That's what we did last night. Luton showed up. They said, well, you know what? We're going to make them play the way we want to play. We're going to play chippy. We're going to play rough. We're going to play rugged. We're going to push them around. And so that's what happened last night. So when we played Villa, now this is going to be interesting, because if we turn the ball over in midfield against Villa on Saturday, I'm here to tell you it's going to be 3 passes and they'll be in our box, and it'll be chaos. Mm. And if Raya shows up like he did last night against Aston Villa, with that third goal lead that we talked about, that third goal, if we see that Saturday, excuse me, then it's going to be a long days. This is not going to be an easy game. This is not going to be an easy game. Are we away or home this week, y'all?
Away.
Away. That going there is that right there is going to be tough. If you thought Luton was bad, them in the middle of the table, up top like that, and then having something to prove. Fourth. They've got a lot to prove for themselves on Saturday. This is a psychological game for them. So imagine if they win the game. They're thinking, oh man,
if they win tonight, they go up to third if Liverpool get a result. But if Liverpool lose, maybe they won't against Sheffield United. But if Liverpool lose and Villa beat City, Villa are second.
Yeah, so there you go. So there's a lot riding on this game Saturday.
Yeah.
So we've got to show up. I mean, we have got to fix some of the problem areas. And we've sat here, all 4 of us have sat here and done player ratings throughout the year. And we've seen where it's basically been a case of it's the same thing week in, week out. We're scrambling. We're waiting to the last second. Oh, we won it in the last second. And I want people to understand, it's not that we don't want people to win, but we have to get this under control to where we're not doing this all year, because at some point, gentlemen, I said this last year, we have not hit that run of form yet where it's 2 draws, a loss, win, 2 draws. And if we keep playing like this, we're going to wind up finding ourselves in a situation that we can't get ourselves out of. And if you notice, like Lee just said, there's a couple of results for each team that's in the top 6 this year. A couple of results, and everybody hops over everybody. So there's not just because we're at the top now doesn't mean we're going to be sitting there in about 4 or 5 weeks' time. It could be all over the place. This season is going to be a marathon. This will be a marathon Premier League season, starting this month, because our fixtures this month, as Hendon is talking about here. We talked about this last night after we got off. 3 games against Liverpool in a month span? Was it? We said a month?
Yeah, about 5 weeks, 4 weeks.
5 weeks, 3 weeks. And that's not including everybody else. Kenny, you're mute, brother.
Yeah, it's about between so December the 23rd, the 6th or 7th of January, and the 3rd or 4th of February. So those are massive games where it's going to be like you'll have to assume that if Liverpool get Robertson back pretty quickly, I don't know, because he's done his shoulder, so he might be back by the time we play him at the Emirates for the league game. So that's going to be in the running. But either way, it's going to be a situation where I think that both teams are not going to want to give anything away, especially in a cup game, because psychologically it might have a bearing. Because I'm sure that when we lost in the FA Cup last year to Man City, although we didn't know at the time, I think psychologically, despite the fact that Man City weren't that much better than us in the cup, sociologically, it told everyone, Arsenal players and Man City, that they still have the Indian rubber sign over us, and they proved it by doing a double over us. You know, in the matches we played them in February and in April, and I think that's why Arteta has to take these games seriously, because of the opposition.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, Kenny, I'm gonna come to you on this one, then I'm gonna go to ask Lee. You know, it's a big game tonight, Villa Man City. Yeah, that's a big game.
Yes.
If Villa come out with a result in that game, yeah, and they're sitting second behind us on the weekend, that is going to be some test. That is
it'd be a massive fun, because I think what it is that I think the thing about those games, you know, that you play in midweek with that sort of intensity that we played with yesterday, and the intensity that Villa are going to play today, you always hope, as you're an Arsenal fan, that the game against Villa on Saturdays is an anticlimax because of the effort. Because to beat Man City, Aston Villa have to run their nuts off, work their nuts off in terms of closing them down, you know, making sure, you know, like they double up on them on the flanks, or they City are playing out in the middle. Make sure someone gets in Rodri's face. Make sure Foden doesn't have enough time on the ball, and then on a turnover, make sure they time an attack that Bailey is stretching the defence. Watkins is playing his back to goal, and he's running. He's not right that he's getting on any of their chances. He's giving Diaz and Ake a terrible time, and that's going to take a lot of effort. The downside is they got to play us on the weekend, and that, are they going to be able to physically do today what they did on today? What they want to do against us on Saturday? And it goes for us as well, because we went to the well as well. You think about it, last 10 minutes, it was us who were going bang, 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 bang. We got to get that equaliser. The point's not good enough. Bang, bang, bang. Are we going to have anything left? And I think that's the beauty about these games, in these sort of Amazon games and the games at the weekend, is because you really will. The title, who charge could change hands. It would may not.
To be fair, Rodri's suspended, Kenny. So is Grealish.
And that's the thing.
So it might be a bit easier for them legs-wise in midfield, because like when I see the Man City,
but look how we played against Man City when we beat them without Rodri, without De Bruyne. We had to play a game where it was a one-chance game, where we had to do a lot of running, work off the ball. I'm just thinking, emotionally, physically, are they going to have anything left to play us? It's just, are we going to have any left for them? I don't think the game against Villa is going to be intense as we'd like, because of the intensity we put into the game at Kenilworth Road yesterday. And the
only advantage I think we have is we'll have a day's rest, and we played a team that probably going to work with us hard. Because Man City, despite having injuries and players suspended, they are going to get the run around at times, Villa. Whereas we didn't really get the run around. It was our own errors that cost us 3 goals.
100%. I think towards trying to win it, we put a lot of effort in by trying to win it. Because you think about it, Luton had to use all their substitutes. We didn't. We still left 2 on the bench. So that's still going to be a physical effort for thing. But and that's the old kind of situation, is that, you know, we just don't know, man. We don't know, because, as I said before, Man City is still like a hard team to play against, with or without Rodri, with or without Bruyne.
I'm going to come to Lee with this, because Lee, you actually made the great point. Yeah, if Villa get a result tonight, we go into playing them at the weekend, and they're right behind us. I know at the moment they're 7 points behind. I think I'm correct in saying that.
7, yeah.
So, you know, they will be then, you know,
4 if they win.
Puts the pressure on, man. That puts the pressure on. And
the thing is, if they lose, if Man City beat them, and then we beat them, adios, good night, bye-bye. Yeah, that's then the top 3 have broken away. Yeah, because even if Spurs get a result at the week, or in West Ham tomorrow, that'll put them on 30. Then they've got to go again at the weekend. Spurs could still be there or thereabouts, but Spurs ain't got the squad to stay and sustain the challenge all season. Yeah, whereas I think, yeah, these next couple of games, the next 2 or 3 games, you're going to see them 3 at the top breakaway.
I think you're totally right. I do. I'm totally right. Kenny, I just something. This just came into my head. I was watching. I think it was your fan cam from the weekend. I'll tell you what, man. Some of the comments in there, that like when you said Spurs are our rivals. Well, that's like.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
What is wrong with
I
these
had to delete a
people?
couple as well. Some of them were wild, mate.
They never grew up in the area, so you don't. If you don't get it, you don't understand it. And I know.
You know what?
Sorry, mate. I do understand that people think Tottenham aren't because they don't win shit, and that's fine. I get that. But when you live like where you live in Islington, yeah, it's in the blood. It's in the blood. It's in the DNA. I'm sorry, I had to bring that up.
No, but 100%. No, you have to bring it. I'm glad you have brought it up because I've had arguments with people on Twitter. You know, the fact is that every Arsenal fan basically educates another Arsenal fan to the extent that when you're an Arsenal fan, you don't know everything. You learn every day's a school day, especially when it comes to Arsenal, especially when you've got younger fans who started supporting the club. Their parents will tell them about how great we were, and they talk about the rivals. And you are brought up to hate Tottenham. Mm-hmm. Now, that is not just for fans who live in the UK. Matt has been brought up to hate Tottenham because he's learnt the history. And it's for all our fans all over our diaspora. We've got a massive diaspora of fans all over the world. They know you don't like Tottenham. So I got beef with them. My beef is when you've got people who are from London who, because Man United have got a massive fan base in London, and maybe Liverpool got a massive fan base in London, they use their sort of playground BS, and that's their rivalry. And they want me and you, someone who's grown up in Islington, to say, "Oh yeah, Spurs, aren't our rivals. We hate Man United more." And then they think they're smart. They put a slant in it. They will use words like, "Well, I love Arsenal more than I hate Tottenham." That's a game they play, and it doesn't work for me. Or the other game is like, well, Spurs don't really anything. They're not really our rivals, so that's another game. And I always say, well, yeah, they're not a rival, but I say that Man City.
I don't see.
I know you do. I was cutting you. You know what's happened? Man United in the 90s and the early 2000s, 21st century, they were competitors. We were competing with Man United for the league, and they became our rivals. But Man United's traditional rivals are Man City and Liverpool. Yeah, just like there was periods in the sort of like late 90s when us and Chelsea were competing for cups, meeting each other in cup finals in 21st century. They were competitors. They're not our rivals, but we've created this rivalry with them because we want the same things. And a lot of it's to do with YouTube, because a lot of young people, aren't aware of the history. So they will look at the how do I say it? They'll look at it how do I say it? Logically. Like logically, of course you're going to want Spurs to beat Man City because it helps Arsenal. And I get that. But if you're brought up to hate Spurs and you don't want your rivals to do well in any game, then you can't cheer a Spurs goal. You just can't do it. It is morally wrong. If you're an Arsenal fan, you can't love Spurs. You can't have any admirers. Trust me, a lot of people who grew up in North London, where I grew up with, and me included, have Spurs fans in their blood family, extended blood family. Doesn't mean I hate my relatives and hate some of my mates who are Tottenham fans, but I hate their club. I don't want them to do well. I cannot cheer any of the goals that were scored by Song, the Celso and Kulusevski, because I'm a Gooner and I do. And the rivalry with Spurs is intense. It's a local rivalry. It's not just to do with compete with trophies, although we've got the Indian rubber sign over them. It's to do with local rivalry, historical rivalry, because of how we stole their place in the league. Yeah. And now we moved into their territory and nicked a lot of their fans who, when we moved to Islington, some of the Islington fans would have probably supported Spurs or Leyton Orient. So that's why they hate us. And that's what the rivalry's about. So we hate each other. It's like going to war. All right? It's going to war. You know, two countries are at war, or two estates are fighting each other. You don't like that estate. That's football.
Fuck off.
That's you, Jess.
No,
That's Tottenham's top boy phoning him up right now.
Oh, that's and that's the rivalry. So
and it's Posteluco.
so you know what it is that pork chop Ben Diagnostic or Ben Augustinio, whatever he calls himself, prat that he is. That's why. But that's my logic, Ben. I know you watch me. I know you study me, and you son and mark me, and that goes for the other idiots who are AFTV lovers, because on AFTV they have a little rivalry. They have a little instead of talking about the history of Arsenal Tottenham, they'll get two pork chops from either side who've only started supporting the clubs since social media became the next big thing, and that's their rivalry. I mean, whenever Arsenal play Tottenham, all I worry about is whether I'm going to get out of Seven Sisters in one piece. I don't want to see these two pork chops from.
You don't even wear your colours, do you, Kenny?
Or Phantom or 888 rubbish. That's my life, and and I'm not the only one who feels that way about Spurs. Every Arsenal fan who grew up in London feels the same way. You should never support Tottenham. Never. Yeah, it's morally wrong.
Kenny, it will never change.
It shouldn't change.
It's in your blood. Lee, I know you've got a view on that, but I want to ask you this. I want to get, because I know the story that I think is going to be important, man, is we've got some tricky games coming up, man. And everybody's gassing it up, you know, we're 5 points clear with this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, we were there this time last. You know, we've been there, seen it. We've, you know, bought the flowers, bought the T-shirt, eaten the dinner. Yeah. Come on.
I nearly bought the 2004 bottle of Cristal, mate, to celebrate. I was that close.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. We're realists. I know we get the hate and we get, you know, oh, you just a lot of fake fans, you're plastic. Jez, you're too.
That's just the internet. That's just the internet, Jez. It always makes me laugh how not just Arsenal fans, but football fans in general on social media, anytime a person on Sky Sports, BT, TNT, whatever it is, Talk Sport, or any other media outlet is saying something that they don't like about their club, oh, they've got an agenda, the media hate. Why are so many people so concerned about what Gary Neville says? Yeah, why do you expect Gary Neville to be gnawing off Arsenal? He's a mank through and through.
Exactly.
Yeah? But then when he gives praise and says, I think Arsenal can win the league, I don't believe him anyway. He's only doing that because he's been trolled for a year for slagging us off all last year. Yeah, so he's only doing that to play the other side. Yeah, the only pundits I really listen to, I think actually, yeah, you say it as it is, and you ain't really got an agenda, as these people would say, is Roy Keane and maybe Simon Jordan. But even them at times, you listen to them and you think, what the hell are you waffling about, mate? Because everybody has that moment. And when your face is on camera every day, or in a studio or on YouTube or whatever it may be, at some point you're going to have a bad take. Yeah, and some will have more than others. I've had a lot of bad takes. People still bring up the Salah Welbeck thing. Right? You know, Rory Jennings, Haaland won't score more than 15 goals in a season. Right? We've all had them. But because your face is on camera all the time and you're caught in 4K, yeah, like you get held to that's, oh my God, whereas people can delete a tweet real quick and nobody's seen it. Yeah, they can go back. Yeah, so I'll give an example. When we signed 29, yeah, I went through some of the top Gooner accounts and they have not once mentioned before we signed him, apparently, how bad he was at Chelsea. Why? Because they went and searched their own tweets up with that name and deleted every single one of them, slagging him off. Yeah. Whereas on YouTube, yeah, I could go and delete the videos, but I'm not going to delete the videos. I live and die by what I say. Like, yeah, cool. Yeah, I said I ain't backing the manager. Cool. Prove me wrong. If he proves me wrong and wins the league, sweet. As in terms of our fixtures, we have seen it and done it, Jez. Like, and worn the t-shirt nearly. But we are too long in the tooth between all four of us on here and the people in the chat as well that are mostly, I'd imagine, around our age as well. We have seen this story and this script unfold a million times before, mate. Yeah, hence why we've gone 20 years without a title. Hence why when people are hyping up winning the Champions League, our greatest ever teams never won the Champions League. Yeah. And yes, people can say, but it's different now. Well, it is different now because the standard of football isn't in the bin compared to what it was back then. So even though we had great teams back then, all the way through the George Grahams and after with Wenger, the early days, yeah, in my generation of growing up, yeah, every team was a great team in Europe. Yeah, they were. Real Madrid, the Barças, all these teams, they were always Inter Milan. They did a treble. Porto did a treble.
Yeah,
Chelsea were winning stuff. Man United are winning stuff. Liverpool were always winning stuff. So, yes, the standard of football is not as good as it used to be, but it's still relative. It's still there or thereabouts. Like there's Bayern Munich, they've always been good. Real Madrid have always been good. Atleti are always a problem. Yeah, Inter will be a problem. Lazio might be. Do you know what I'm saying? They're all a problem. These teams that are qualified. PSG, as trash as they are. Yeah, I seen Ross Barkley cook Ben White yesterday. Now imagine that's Mbappe. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it's like when I see people saying we can win the Champions League, yeah, we can because we're in it. But have a little bit of basis and logic behind it. And when I see people sitting there saying, oh, maybe if we get an easy route to the final, these are the same people that were slagging off Man United for winning an easy route to the final to win a League Cup last season. So why don't we all hold every club to the same standard then? Because if you're saying, oh, man, oh, but who did they play? Well, who have Arsenal played in the Champions League so far? Yeah, because Sevilla are trash. They're 15th. Yeah, PSV call they're top of their league, but they're trash. The league's trash. Yeah, and Lens, well, they've fallen off the cliff. So come on, like you have to have the same standard and hold everyone to the same standard. Yeah, you can't just have a standard for them clubs and it's different for your club. Yeah, and if we do win it, I hope we do. Yeah, and if we do win the league again, I hope we do. But again, I'm not going to be jumping up and down, knee sliding after beating Luton, mate. Yeah, we should beat Luton, and we did beat them. Yeah, if you look at our next fixtures, yeah, we've obviously got Villa at the weekend. The last team to beat them at their ground, and obviously they've got a game coming up tonight. The last team to beat them at their ground was us. And if you go back to that game, it took a Jorginho strike off the crossbar off Emi Martinez to win the game. And then Martinelli bagged the third. So that ain't an easy game, despite them going to probably have a good game against City tonight. Then we've got PSV. That's a game where we've already qualified. We can say, cool, let's save some of the bigger players, the better players, wrap them up for the Brighton game. But again, Brighton last season, yes, I know the title was gone by them. They pammed us 3-0. Yeah, fans were walking out. 30k walked out. 20k walked out after 2-0. In our best ever season for 20 years. Like, do me a favour. Then after that, 6 days later, right on top of Christmas, we got Liverpool. Then we've got a break for 5 days, and then we've got West Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that ain't going to be an easy game either. And there's always an iffy result over Christmas, man. Like, for everybody. Yeah, so, yeah, it's great we're top. It's fantastic we're top. We all bleat on and cry and bitch and moan about we want to win stuff. But the league ain't wrapped up on the 6th of December. Yeah, so, yeah, be happy, be confident, but learn your lesson from last year. Because even when we were 8 points clear, yeah, and I got sucked in, and I was like, right, we can win this. We can win this. But even then,
we all did.
The World Cup started, I even sat here and on this show and other shows and said, January is going to show the ambition of this football club.
Yep.
And it did. It showed it didn't care, mate. So again, same premise. January will show the ambition of Arsenal Football Club. Have they learned their lesson? Are they now going to tweak stuff and go, right, we're going to go and sign 3 players. We need a midfielder, a striker, and a centre-back. Because if Gabriel or Saliba get injured, we're to Kivior and Ben White. I'm sorry, mate, that drop-off at centre-back is crazy. If Declan Rice gets injured, we're down to El Neni or Jorginho.
Yeah.
That 3 there, them 3 in that little triangle there, yeah. And as good as Declan Rice has been, I don't think he's been as good as everyone's made him out to be, but he's been extremely good, but not that good. It's just the other players around him in midfield, Odegaard, 29, and Vieira have not been amazing. So he's looked better than he actually has been, but he has been good. And I like his attitude. I like the fact that he's walked into Arsenal like he deserves to be here, and he's took it on board, and he's like, keeps it simple. Yeah, he's not a flashy player. I like that. Yeah, just keep it simple, do your job, get out of there and hold your head up and say, I gave it a go today. And he does that. But if any of them 3 get injured, mate, we're finished. Yeah, we are finished. We see last season, Saliba out the team, panic stations everywhere. Thomas Partey running around like a headless chicken. Yeah, Rob Holding running around like a headless chicken. Gabriel then running around like a headless chicken. All three of them are the three that I'm talking about now, but levels higher. And that is the drop-off. Thomas Partey ain't getting a game for this club again. So it's going to be El Neni or Jorginho going in there if Rice gets a sustained injury. Saliba, 1 booking this season. Gabriel, 1 booking this season. Declan Rice, no bookings this season. Yeah, that's great for us. But if any of them 3 get injured for like a Tommy injury 6 weeks or so, we're fucked, mate. Honestly. And that is why this club have to attack that market in January.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Got to. If it doesn't, it shows absolute disrespect to every single match-going fan like Kenny who pays hard dollar to season ticket get in there. Matty, I want you to give me an opinion, man. How many points out of the games up to Christmas do you think we're going to actually get?
Honestly, I'm gonna be straightforward, which I feel like there's 2 or 3 draws in there somewhere. I just don't know exactly where. The Liverpool game would probably be what I would say is a draw. I don't know if we have enough to, if we can sustain what we're doing and get. There's going to be a fall off somewhere. That's my concern, and that's the difference from this year and last year that I'm taking away, is that last year we did this, but this year we're hanging on for dear life in a lot of these games, and I just feel like there's going to be some points dropped. I can't tell you where, but I can tell you this: I know that Liverpool game. That's the one that has me really, really thinking, because I felt like we didn't put them. We should have. Kenny brought up something earlier. Psychologically, we should have did them away last year. We should have washed them away. And psychologically, looking at that game, we had it there, and I felt that was a missed opportunity, not just for last season, but for this season. We've got to the Brighton game. That's another one. As Lee said, with the hipster manager down at Brighton. They're smelling themselves. They're smelling their underarms. So we have to go there. We have to try to get a result there. That's a tricky game. So I think that consistency during this period of this crucial game, of all these games, is go. Whoever's the most consistent team in the next couple of months will be the team that's probably going to probably not cruise to the title, but they'll be in the driver's seat for the majority of it.
And sorry to cut you off, Matty. Yeah, the 2 managers that this manager's going up against have both won it.
Yeah,
they know how to get over the line. Yeah, and you alluded to earlier. Yeah, Liverpool drew with Luton. Yeah, Liverpool won the league. They were 28 wins out of 29. The one they lost was Watford. Yeah, so they always have a dodgy result, even when they're elite, mate. And they were elite that season. They wiped the floor with everyone that season.
Don't you think the season before they were elite? Because I know this sounds a bit perverse.
3-year period for Firmino, Salah, Mane, mate. Unreal.
It sounds perverse, but you made a point about Man City. Well, someone in the chat made a point about Man City not being a team over before. Well, I'll tell you one thing right now: the Man City team of this season, the team that won the treble last year, it's nothing on the Pep's teams of 2018 and 2019 that got 100 points in 2018 and got 98 points when Liverpool got 97 and they won it by 1 point. Then this team doesn't play as attractive football as those 2 teams that I mentioned. But the thing is, Man City are not as good as those teams, but they're still the team to beat. We've got better. Liverpool, in my opinion, have digressed a bit from that great side, those great sides of 2019 that won Champions League and 2020 that won the league. But they're still there and bats, and they're still, in my eyes, the teams to catch, which means there's so much more we have to do in order to win the league this season and carry on challenging. We're still years away from being that kind of side. Because
if they beat Sheffield United tonight, they will be at this stage after 15 games, which it will be tonight when they've completed their game. If they win, which I expect them to do, they will have 11 points more than this stage last season.
Exactly.
They've got rid of Henderson. They've got rid of Milner. 2 war horses. Origi's gone. Yeah, and then they've replaced that whole midfield with Sloboslai, Endo, McAllister, and Gravenberch. 4 new midfielders. Fabinho's gone as well. Yeah, Fabinho gone. He has gone, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's gone to Saudi Arabia. But
they got 4 new midfielders incorporated into that team in one go, and they're straight away. They win tonight 11 points better after 15 games. They're a problem.
You know what? You know that is, Lee, though. The thing with Klopp, and the reason why Pep's always that one step ahead of him. Klopp doesn't change his teams that often. He lets them, he lets them go stale. He did that at Dortmund. He didn't make the specific changes. Now he's been forced to. He's had to rip up that midfield because Fabinho's legs went. Henderson's legs went. He's been trying to play better football because he got Alcantara and he's got Harvey Elliott. But he's gone all the way back to a new brand midfield. Szoboszlai is so quick. He's probably quicker than as quick as the fastest players we have in the league. And then you've got Endo's got energy. He's got a fall for it. Gravenberg's a young Dutch player. He's got the build and the energy to sort of do
all day long.
Yeah, replicate what the
McAllister just keeps it tidy. He's good technically.
Yeah, World Cup winner. So
their front line's ridiculous. Like got Salah, Nunez. He's not great, Nunez, but he ain't bad. Yeah, and he's getting better every week. Albeit he missed a couple at the weekend. But then you've got Gakpo. Yeah, he's feeling his way into the team now. You've got Luis Diaz. Yeah, they've got some decent players, man, up front. Yeah, and that attack line with that midfield, their defense is the issue. They need one more midfielder, I think. Yeah, like a more defensive, like a DM, like a Caicedo or someone, or a Douglas Luiz type player. Somebody that's just going to nick the ball, give it to someone better. Yeah, and then they need another centre back because if Van Dijk or Konate, and Konate's always out injured. Yeah, if either of them two get injured for a long time, they're finished. Yeah, because the drop off after that is crazy.
Let me throw this out there too. A lot of us are talking about the transfer window. Arsenal, we got Arsenal do this, Arsenal do that. Let's just be frank. And I've made this prediction. Lee, I told you this off camera, and I say it here. Pep is going to look at that lineup, look at that team this year. He's going to look at where he's at when January gets there. This is usually about the time. Pep tends to always start the older players. He's starting to get ready to replace them. Somebody's going to be coming in as KDB's replacement. It's either going to be this window, next window. I'm almost certain that with the running form is something they're on right now. He's probably going to go, you know what? If he comes back, that's cool. If not, I need to have somebody there in place if he's not.
And even if he comes back, is he going to be the same guy?
Bingo, exactly. And so,
because his legs were gone anyway, he ain't the KDB from 3 years ago.
Exactly. And so,
Pep will get rid of him if he doesn't get to that level that he's been.
Well, that's what I said. Probably in the summer. I think in the summer he'll push him on out. Thank you for your service. We appreciate everything, and they're moving on. Then you look at Liverpool, like you just stated, Lee. They've got some holes there they need to get sorted out. And they'll either loan or either get somebody. And then we've got to look at Newcastle and Aston Villa. And so there's going to be some teams in January.
Spurs as well.
And Spurs.
Yeah.
I told you, I said if Spurs, they might go looking at Ivan Toney. They need a talisman.
I'll cry. I swear.
Yeah, I'll be pissed. I'll be furious if that happens.
What a waste of a career if he goes to Tottenham or Chelsea.
Tony?
Yeah, if he goes to either one of them two, he's finished himself.
Well, he went to Chelsea as well.
Yeah,
that's another
Chelsea. No, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's the guy we need.
We are in a prime spot to land someone like that, and it propels us. All right. I'll make it simple for everybody in the chat. Y'all remember when we got Dennis Bergkamp? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when we got Dennis Bergkamp? What he did? Y'all remember that? Remember that? That's the type signing that Ivan Toney is. A player that can instantly put instant impact. We need that. We've got to do that. We've got to get some quality.
And that's the one thing I was going to give Arteta a bit of credit for. Yeah, he has put us in that conversation now where we're not that banter club. Yeah, we are hard to beat. Yeah, we do keep going, and we are now an attractive prospect. Yeah, and I always say this on shows. Yeah, he does give a shit. He does care. Yeah, but is he good enough? to get us over that line.
He's just
And
inexperienced.
Now, I'm sure he wants a striker. I'm sure he wants a midfielder. I'm sure he wants a defender. I'm sure he wants another winger. But now it's down to the money men at the club to do it. Yeah, and that's why I will absorb him of January window and summer window, because yes, he is part of the recruitment team. Of course he is. But at the same time, it's down to that recruitment team to get it over the line. And then when they get it over the line, if they get it over the line, it's then down to him to deliver the trophy. Yeah,
totally right.
It's down to Edu, down to Garlic, down to the lawyers, down to Cronkies and all of that. They've got to get the job done. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Edu and all of that lot, they're all having their meetings, and he's saying, "Yo, I want a striker in January because this Eddie ain't it." Yeah. And I'm pretty sure with the little relationship we've got going on with Brentford, I reckon we could do a deal there for Tony.
Yeah,
Eddie and some cash, mate.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
board of directors, man. That board of directors have an influence that I don't think are actually that favourable for the club anymore. I think they're way too old. They're just in there for their dividends and everything. But guys, I want to wrap this up because I know, Lee, you've got to go and do a watch.
Oh my day, Sheffield United nearly scored.
Was it started?
Yeah,
I just looked at the clock like the game's on already.
Yeah, the other game started 45 minutes, the two big ones. But yeah, Sheffield United Liverpool just kicked off 3 minutes ago. What a free kick. And the guy running in the back stick missed it by a toe, mate. Otherwise, it's a tap-in.
I don't know. Should I save myself for match of the day, or should I do what you're doing and watch it?
Nah, watch it and then switch over to one of the better games.
Watching the video. I'm going to watch that.
Jez, very quickly, I know you want to wrap up, Jez, yeah? You're right what you just said a minute ago about our board, right? Yeah, we've changed a load of board members and that, right? But they're not respected, around Europe, whereas David Dean was respected. He could go and get Sol Campbell. He could go and get Bergkamps and all of these players and that, yeah? Right, we could go and get the up-and-coming Thierry Henry that weren't really that great at Juve. He was good and he had great prospects. He could go and get a Wenger, pluck him out of nowhere, a little gem. Very difficult to go into a boardroom now as Arsenal when you're competing with 2 or 3 other clubs for a player. The only player that we've got over the line that I can remember that other clubs have really wanted and put bids in for is Declan Rice. And that's only because Man City had a threshold and they ain't going above it. And they've done that with Van Dijk. They let Liverpool have him. Yeah, they've done that with other players. Yeah, done it with Fabinho, I think. They did it with Rice. They've done it with other players. They're like, no, we're going to that level and we ain't going a penny over it. Yeah, and we're Man City, so we don't care. We're just going to get someone else. Yeah, and that's the one thing I'll say. If Ivan Toney, and he is going to be in the window this January, I'm not convinced whether he'll go. I'm hoping he goes to us. But there's going to be 2 or 3 teams in for him because he is that good. And he's going to have a point to prove, mate.
Chelsea, Man United and us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just want to say, Eddie the Book Reaper, thank you, mate, for your super chat. You guys are the absolute real ones. I will never understand all the hate you all get for calling it how it is. Wishing you fellas all the best. Yeah, well, we are real, man. We're proper fans. We're not plastics. We get called plastics. We get called fakes. I did last night. It doesn't matter. I don't really care. It's the
go-to response, though, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, you're a Spurs fan. You're a fake fan. It's like this is how easy coerced these people are. Yeah. That it's so easy just to throw. Oh, you're a Spurs fan. Oh, really? What? Because you don't agree with my take on Arteta? Like, is that how soft you are?
Exactly.
Hey, sorry, guys. 44 teams. Let's just get this right. I don't think Declan Rice is overrated. What I said is that Declan, and he'll be the first one to accept and admit this, there's levels where Declan can go to. Yes, I do think that like the praise he gets at times is over the top, but there's no way Declan's overrated. There's no way he's overrated. He wouldn't be an overrated player if we paid £100 million for him. He wouldn't be an overrated player if England got him to switch nationalities. He wouldn't be an overrated player if he played in the European Championship final.
Be careful, Gavin's in the chat, mate. He'll take offence to that being an Irishman.
All I'm saying is that he hasn't reached the levels of which Thomas Partey was reached last season.
And he can probably surpass as well. He's got the ability.
Yeah. He's got the ability to match Thomas Partey and surpass it. And who knows? He may not stay at Arsenal. Once he gets to that level, who knows? Real Madrid might come knocking, or Barcelona when they get their act together. I did not think that was overrated. I just think Declan has not reached the level so far, and our team itself.
The praise that he's getting doesn't warrant what he's doing on the pitch. Yeah, he's got the ability, but he hasn't reached the level to get that level of praise. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, I call Declan. I don't call him Declan Rice. I call him Declan English.
Yeah, I think the guy's absolute class.
Do you know what I like about him? Yeah, like, and this is big praise because he reminds me of Tony Adams.
Yeah. He has that statue about him.
There's no thrills with him. He just wants to play football. He ain't going to do anything stupid. He's proud to play for the football club. I'm not saying he's as good as Adams, yeah. But what I'm saying is like the way he carries himself on the football pitch, the way he carries himself in interviews, yeah. And it's like he's proud to play for the club. Every time he puts that shirt on, he's proud to be out there. Yeah. And if we had a lot of players like that over the last 20 years, yeah, we wouldn't be sat here 20 years without a title, mate.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because they give 100%. Yeah, he might not be the best footballer in the world, he might not be the best midfielder in the world, but the one thing he does give every week, 100%. Yeah, he don't shirk tackles, he don't shirk and hide. Yeah, he might get run around every now and again. Yeah, yesterday he weren't fantastic, but guess what? Yeah, he still nicked the winner.
He was working.
He's doing a job.
I mean, he wasn't getting a lot of support in midfield.
No, and he was shocking defensively yesterday in our penalty box, but then he goes and redeemed himself. Yeah, don't absorb him of any of the blame because he does get some of the blame for some of them goals because they were shocking, but he then went and redeemed himself. Yeah, and that's what good players do. Yeah, they know they've had a bad game. Yeah, but now they want to repair it. Yeah, and then like just because a player got a goal or an assist don't mean they've had a good game. Yeah, because he didn't have a great game yesterday. But the one thing I do say about him, yeah, he don't give up. Yeah, and I like that never say die attitude. Yeah, and fair play to him, man. He's took to Arsenal like a duck to water. But again, I agree with Kenny. Yeah, he's only getting so much praise of a high standard because the other two next to him in midfield, whoever that's been this season, have been crap. Yeah, so he's looked better than he has been, but he has been good. He has been very good. Anyway, I'll shut up.
The real HK Hong Kong, whatever, I don't know. You never got the Declan Rice shirt, Lee. I think you did, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I did. I did a video on it, mate. The video's on my channel.
Let's move on. Deleted News says, if we win, will you want Arteta to stay? Matty.
Let me answer this real quick. Yeah. If Arteta wins a trophy this season, and I said at the start of the season, even if it's the League Cup and we finish 12th, don't care. You get another go.
Yeah, I want to see him win it back to back. If he wins this year, I want to see a back to back run. I'll tell you what.
If you win a trophy, you get another go next season.
Yeah, I want. Yeah, I really want to.
As a manager in the job, brand new into the job, like Ange, for example. Yeah, or Arteta when he came, or Emery when he came. First season, I wouldn't say it's a pass because it's not a pass. You still have to be decent, yeah, and show willing and show that you're going to try, yeah, and you're going on the right path, yeah. Second season, you better win something. And I said this about Simeone because Terry asked me this yesterday. If Simeone don't win a trophy at Atleti this season, would you want him sacked? I said, damn right I would. Yeah, you can't go 2-3 years without a trophy at Atleti, mate. See you later. Don't care how good he is.
Yeah.
And I'll take him at Arsenal in a heartbeat if they sack him.
Yeah, if he wins this year, he can hang around. If he does not win, he needs to be removed the last day of the season. He needs to be turning his packet. He needs to be out of here. If we don't have
get Josh Kroenke on the pitch, like you see when Bayern won the league and they sacked Sally Hamadic on the pitch on the celebrations.
Yeah.
Josh and Stan rock up one of them ones. Yeah, and just say, what are you doing a lap of honor, mate? Get out of it.
Yeah.
You know it is, guys.
We know that won't happen, man.
You know it is. Sorry.
Go on, Kenny.
You know it is. Look, if he's won the league and he's won the Champions League, he's got the right to carry on his job to retain it again. I'm gonna say win it again, win the Champions League this time. He definitely does right because he's done something right. He's got his tactics. If he's got his tactics right, he's got his selections right, and his purchases worked. So of course you want him to carry on, no matter what you think about him. And then once he turns it around, of course you're going to think, you know what, I was wrong about that guy, and that's what we. I would love to. That's what we
I think everybody on this panel would love to say, you know what, man, we had it wrong. We weren't patient with him, or whatever the narrative is. If he's successful, the problem is we're year 4, 5. What is it, Lee? 5, 4? I forgot. Whatever.
4 calendar years.
4 calendar years.
15 days.
Yeah, 4 calendar years. A wasted title opportunity. And, this, and quite frankly, the next couple of months are going to tell us where we are going forward this season. So if we can't get the job done, because I have to say this every time, we don't have a God-given right to be challenging for a title. This is an opportunity we need to seal right now. We need to seal the opportunity to try to compete and challenge, because everybody else I keep telling people aren't just going to just sit around and just let Arsenal just keep doing what we're going to do. They're going to start strengthening.
Should have scored.
Yeah. And they're going to start getting better. And we've got to seize the opportunity while we have the opportunity to seize it. And so if we don't do it this year, then there has to be wholesale changes across the board.
Facts. Right, we're going to wrap it up, guys. It's gone over the hour, but Lee, mate, I know you never do it on my channel, but shout yourself out. You never do it.
Well, just sub to Lee Reacts. Don't worry about the other one. That takes care of itself. Yeah. But if you want to sub to Lee Gunner, if you ain't already, then do so, because I'm less than 500 away from 90K. So
exactly,
get that done. But yeah, I'm going live in literally about 5 minutes on Lee Reacts for the Man City game. Sheffield United should have scored, man, twice. Well, once. They just had a breakaway. Gomez gave the ball away and they should have scored. Keeper made a good save. But yeah, Lee Reacts, if you want to come and check out the Aston Villa watch along.
Cheers, man. I mean, Lee, once again, thanks for coming on, bro. You're a busy man.
Always a pleasure.
Big up for you to do that, man. Kenny, please shout out we can find you on the Insta.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at KennyKane1972. I have to apologise in advance. I will be watching the Man United Chelsea game, because for me that's still a big game. I have betrayed all of you. I know. I know that there's going to be a majority of people who are going to think the more attractive prospect is the Aston Villa versus Man City game, and the Chelsea and Man United game at the present is basically a couple of you can call it the banter clubs or a couple of ex-great clubs. But for me, they're still massive clubs and they're still bigger clubs than Man City and thing. And I think Chelsea, Man United have always excited me. Either way, it's going to be a funny game to watch.
Like, let me give you a quick stat as well, Kenny, yeah? Right, and the chat. Chelsea haven't won at Old Trafford since 2013.
Wow.
Well,
really?
You sold the game to me now.
Yes.
So
I didn't know that. Somebody told me in my chat earlier, and I was like, that can't be real. And then the whole chat lit up, yeah, it's real.
Oh, wow. Matta scored for Chelsea. Matta it's true. Matta scored the winner, but Man United already won the league already.
Yep, Matta's winner. Right. 2013, mate.
Wow, I didn't know that. It's 10 years, man.
That's a long time, mate.
United
have been in that time. How good Chelsea have been in that time.
Yeah. Matty, Southern Gooner, man. Thanks for coming on.
Right.
I know it's a big rush.
Right.
I know it's a big rush for you tonight to get here. Thank you for coming on, fella. I have to say, I love watching you on the league watch-alongs, man. Your passion is something different. And the fact that the way you react with Ola is class, man. And watch-alongs are not a thing for me. I've told Lee that. I tried doing it once with young Gracie May. It wasn't my cup of tea. I get too involved in the game and I sit there not talking. You, Ola, Lee, class. Shout your channel out, man, please.
Jez, as always, man, it's always good to be over here, my friend. And it's always, whenever all four of us can get together on camera, it's always a fun ordeal. You can follow me here on YouTube, The Southern Gooner. Saturday, I'm going to try my best to get on with Brother Lee and do the watch along if the wifey will allow me. But I'm pretty sure I'll be watching.
Tell her it's Villa away, mate. Just tell her it's Villa away.
yeah. I'm pretty sure I'll be around Saturday. So we'll be watching that, and then that'll be it, man. That'll be it. I may do something on the channel this week. Tomorrow, I hadn't decided yet. Depends on how much I get done today. So.
Cool, man. Cool. Right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to do the outro. Let's get out of here.
Thanks for having me, Jez.
Always, Kenny, you're a legend to me. Lee, absolute top man. Thank you, mate, for all your support. Matty, thank you again, mate, for your content And big up to all you boys. And we're out of here, and enjoy the games tonight, and have fun.